Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of TCG Talk, back today with another video. And in today's video, I'm going to give you my first crack at Teklovossen Esteemed Magnate, kind of talk about my initial deck plan. I have 2 or 3 of them, but this will be the first of like 2 or 3 videos I'll give you. And this one's going to be centered around an aggro Teklovossen list that I've been trying to mess with. Hopefully give you a good day one kind of idea to start with if you're not sure where to go. And I'd also love your feedback from the community, from anyone else that's been playing this hero and may have some other ideas as well. So if you're new to the channel, welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. Feel free to check out my other content. We've been doing a lot of Bright Lights content. The channel's been doing amazing so far. We've had a ton of new subs this month. So for everyone that's new to the channel, thank you so much for stopping by and welcome, and thank you so much for supporting the channel. Leave a comment down below if you're new. Let me know like what made you sub. I know that's kind of a weird thing to ask, but like we've been getting so many new people, and I would just love to know like your feedback on the channel and like what you'd like to see. So if you're a long-standing supporter though, thank y'all so much as always. Y'all are the homies. I really appreciate it, and we'll get right into it. So Teklovossen is the one I saved for last because this hero makes my brain hurt, man. There is so many ways you could take this hero. Where this hero is going to go power level-wise, how relevant is he going to be in the meta, things of that nature, we don't know, right? I do think, if I had to give a guess, I think he's the second most powerful hero. I still think Dash.io has the most potential in the set. I think Max will do the best early because it's the easiest to like conceptualize. But late, I think Teklovossen and Dash will kind of show their stuff. So for Teklovossen, I've been messing with a bunch of different builds. I've been messing with the aggro-based build. I've been messing with like a value-based build, like kind of mid-range-ish, based off like scrap cards and blocking early to then scrap your equipment away and then play it later for even more block value. And then I've been obviously messing with like kind of the more obvious one, which is like the tank singularity build. This build is my most enjoyable, and I think they're actually all pretty equal power level. It just depends how you want to play. I think there's 2 ways to get Teklovossen's Evos out. Either A, you boost them away through an aggro game plan, which is what this one is, and then be able to play them out very quickly. Or B, you block early with some of the bigger block equipment, like the 3 Blade Break and then the blue ones, and then be able to play them later on and get like the maximum block value out of them, right? This is an aggro-based build, so for anyone that's not aware, as you can read here, you may play your Evos from your banish zone. Once per turn instant, pay 3. You may play your next Evo this turn as though it were an instant. In this build, this text does not matter. We are literally wanting to play Evos from banish zone at instant speed. So we only have 4 Evos in the deck. This is literally a boost mechanologist build with 4 Evos, and our initial game plan is pitch away these cards early, like Terminator Tank and Mechanical Strength, Blue Mechanical Strength, Liquid Cool Mayhem, these late game pieces, War Machine, and hit them with a lot of our boost attacks, like Combustible Courier, Dive Through Data, even Pulse Wave Harpoon, Underloop, Throttle, really good high value attacks that even if they're trying to fatigue us a little bit, they have a little bit better block value. It's a little bit harder for them to block it out fully, and you just chip away, chip away, chip away. Meanwhile, since you're boosting every time, these cards are either going to maybe come up in your hand, but most of the time you're going to boost them away. But since all 4 of these are instant speed Evos, it doesn't matter. You don't have to pitch to activate them as an instant. The second you see these, you just play them. And the general idea is early on, you're just boosting, putting on a lot of pressure with your boost attacks. And then late game, once you acquire these, because you're going to hit them, whether you boost them away, whether you put them in hand, you can't block with these, right? So because of that, I mean, you can, but you won't. You're either going to play these from hand or play them from your banish zone, one or the other, right? So because of that, you're just casually getting stronger and stronger. And in Flesh and Blood, normally you get weaker as time goes on. This deck is designed to get stronger as time goes on, right? And it's an aggro deck, which is normally not what you say. But yeah, you use your boost attacks early to boost away cards and find these quickly, and then you just build as you go. And since they're instant equipment, you can play them, multiple of them in a turn if you get it, right? If you have one in hand and you boost away another, you can play out both. And then late game, you're looking to hit like Terminator Tank 3 for 9 on hit, discard a card, Overpower, War Machine, same thing, 3 for 9. Mechanical Strength will be 3 for 9. Mechanical Strength Blue is 3 for 7. Liquid Cool Mayhem, which originally I wasn't on, but I've been super happy with this card. When you get all 4 Evos out, this is a 0 for 6. 3 block, right? Super good. Even with only 2 Evos out, this is a 2 for 6, which is on rate, right? And then you're also using cards like Pulse Wave Protocol to force blocks from your opponent, as well as Pulse Wave Harpoon. So just really, really good cards. And then with our boost cards, we're using Dive Through Data and Data Link Blue to be able to basically get through our deck as fast as possible so we can set up these late game attacks, even with like payload and stuff like that. So that's the gist of it. It's pretty simple, right? And then once you get to 3 Evos, you start using Teklo Leveler really, really efficiently. Being able to use Teklo Leveler into like a Liquid Cool Mayhem, like basically a 2-card 9, is super, super nice. And you just keep doing that, right? Or into a payload or into a throttle. And the thing is, even with some of these bigger boost attacks, you don't have to boost away in the late game, right? Like I had times, because I knew my opponent was trying to fatigue me, where I had a blue and throttle, and I would play Teklo Leveler, 1 for 3 go again, into a throttle, 2-card 9. Really, really good. And so that's just what you're trying to do. Establish early game tempo, get these out as quickly as possible, and then in the late game, use these big pieces like Mechanical Strength, Terminator Tank, War Machine, Payload, Liquid Cool Mayhem, Pulse Wave Protocol to really end the game. When it comes to the equipment, so we're starting with the Cog Workspace. The reason I like using these is because what I'll do is all of these have a use case in this style of build, right? So the legs allow us to say when it's equipped, put a steam counter on it, once per turn, instant. Remove a steam counter so you get a one-time use from it. Gain 1 action point. Activate this ability only if you have boosted this turn. This works really well in turns where like your opponent had an off turn, and I usually will just use this if I can right before I activate the legs. But this will allow us to get an action point and then be able to play like a Liquid Cool Mayhem or whatever, right? Or a payload into another attack, right? I've had times where I did a payload into a Pulse Wave Protocol with 2 blues in hand. So there's some really cool stuff you can do with this, especially if you banish this away and you're like, I'm not going to play this until my opponent's like, I get this at maybe you banish this at the end of your turn, and then you block, go into your next turn, activate Cogworks, and then you can also give something go again. So you can get not only gain an action point, but once you gain that action point and you equip this, then the target you're currently attacking with can get go again. So you can get like multiple action points in a turn if you sequence it properly. So that's kind of how that works. The headpiece is really nice just to go get an attack. Right before I quit, once I see this headpiece, before I do get it, what I'll do is I will use 1 resource and shuffle a Mechanologist attack action card from your banish zone into your deck. This is really, really nice if you have to block with one of these 3-for-9s in the early game. You can, for 1 resource, go get it back because it just says Mechanologist attack action card. And then what I'll do is then I'll play the headpiece and I'll banish like a lower cost thing from hand, draw a card, and then keep going. So all of this keeps happening, right? With the chest, right before we transform it, we'll activate it to gain 2 resources. Basically like a mini Teklo Foundry Heart, and then go into Atom Breaker, and then so on and so forth. The good thing about all these equipment is they all kind of do something. So the Atom Breaker basically allows us to have a charge of Teklo Foundry Heart. So what we'll do is you'll get a Teklo Foundry Heart-like charge from this, and then once you transform it, it says whenever you boost, you may destroy a card under this. If you do, gain 2 resources. So you have 1 Teklo Foundry Heart charge basically once you transform it. Same thing for this one. For the arms, you get 1 charge of +2 on a boost card. This one is on, these 2 are like on equip abilities, which is up to 1 target gets go again, which is really good for like these non-boost cards. And then Evo Zoom Call, again, allows you to just cycle a little bit. And you don't have to do this, but it's the other instant equipment, and it's a little bit better than the head piece. But yeah. I don't run any more because if you run multiple of these, then they literally become dead cards in your deck, right? If you run, even at the yellows, if you run them 2 each, then you're going to essentially just have a yellow pitch, non-block, non-attack card, which you don't want. So because I'm boosting very consistently, I normally see these pretty fast. I've been playing a lot of, when I say a lot of games, like 5-10 games with this list, and I've only had like 1 game where it took forever to get one. But most time, in my first 20 cards, which is like in a boost list is what, 3-4 turns, I'm already at 2 to 3 evos, right? 2 evos ish. So Really, really good. And then late game, you just outvalue the crap out of your opponent. Once your opponent has expended some of their stuff, all of a sudden late game you're hitting 3 for 9. You're hitting again 3 for 9 here, 3 for 9 here. You're hitting 0 for 6 here. You hit with payloads. You hit with pulse wave protocols, revealing their entire hand and picking which card you want them to block with. It just gets really, really good. When it comes to the sideboard, I haven't quite figured it out yet. My initial thought is if it's a deck that I know is just going to fatigue me if I try to do this game plan, you can sideboard into the Steel Soul Memory. Basically, you take out your normal blues, like your boost blues, and then you put these in with Singularity. I have Demolition Protocol just because it's a really cool card. It's a 3 for 7 that might have some applicability into Mech Mirrors. 2 Command and Conquers because it's a great card. And then AB3. AB3 for Kano and AB1 for Runeblades. So, yeah, that's the gist of it. Super streamlined, super easy deck. Late game, again, early game, you're looking to use your boost cards, cycle through your deck quickly to get these out. And then late game, you're looking to do stuff like Teklo Leveler into a 2 cost or a 3 for 9, right? That's basically what you're looking to do most of the time. So, really, really cool concept. I'm liking it. We're going to see how prone it is to fatigue. I think that's its one issue, right? You really have to keep in mind of your pitch stack and like what card threats you have left in deck, when to boost, when not to boost, right? Like I said, sometimes you just throw a 6 power throttle out there and you don't boost it at the end of the chain because you don't need to, right? So that's where I'm at right now with this build. It's feeling pretty good. It's pretty fun. I'm going to show you a Teklovossen list here in a couple days, but right now I think this is the one list where I'm confident enough to at least give you my original deck concept. So if you like this list, let me know. If you have any suggestions, please. This is a brand new set. I'm a brand new mech player. This is just my first take on the list. Really enjoying it, though, and I would love to hear your thoughts. So if you like this type of content, please leave a like, comment, subscribe. Let me know how I can do better. If not me, it's totally fine. Go in our Fleshbug career. We have a lot of people making Bright Lights content. Go see their stuff. Go like their stuff. Follow them. And so we get more people seeing this game. And yeah, I'll see y'all next time on TC Talk. Thank y'all so much. Y'all have a nice day.